Welcome, freshmen. How are you doing? You all right? I know you guys are just finishing up move-in and orientation, your last day of orientation. I have to give a shout out to my IS 101 Section 9. Where are you guys at? There you go. All right. I only gave them a few extra credit points for that, so. All right. So I see everyone got the memo about the t-shirt color scheme today. So I have to ask, aren't you glad you came to Wartburg? Freshman class of 23, Jordan year. Who's excited about that? Jordan year. How many of fans are out there with Michael Jordan fans? Any Michael Jordan fans out there? A few? What about LeBron James fans? Okay, it's pretty split. All right. So I don't want to start a debate because we could go on and on about that all day, but we'll have to settle that debate at a later time. I just think it's important for you to know that I named my son Jordan, after the greatest of all time. So now that that's settled, let me first say thank you, President Colson, for allowing me this awesome opportunity. I am truly honored to be here today to share with each of you. Man, to be a freshman again, what an exciting time for all of you. When reflecting back when I was a freshman, it made me laugh while preparing the speech because I thought it's quite ironic that I'm standing here before you as an alumni speaker for a few reasons. One, I did not attend Wartburg as a freshman, or a sophomore, actually. Instead, I chose a rival school, and although I can't relate specifically about my freshman experience at Wartburg, I can relate to what you're feeling because upon transferring here, I remember having a junior mentality with freshman insecurities and uncertainties in a new environment starting completely over. The second irony is that this very arena and facility we are standing in was non-existent my senior year. A hole in the ground left me and my fellow teammates with a small house for a weight room, a van to travel to a high school gym for practices, not allowing time for us to get up extra shots to perfect our skills, and classmates with a basement room for our personal training class. Fast forward to today, I now have the keys to this building, and Wartburg College is now directly contributing to my student loan payoff. The third and final mockery is that I am not a fan of public speaking, especially in front of large crowds. I thought back to when I was a junior student here taking oral communication for the first time, and honestly, the only thing that I can remember is that my presentation topic was titled something along the lines of the influence of hip-hop in the NBA. Real groundbreaking material right there. This is, of course, during a time when Allen Iverson was the guy and was repetitively talking about practice. For all of you who don't know what I'm referring to, please, after this convocation ceremony, of course, look up AI practice on YouTube for a solid 4 minutes and 12 seconds of a lesson, or laugh rather, on practice. Although I have practiced this speech many times, the nerves are still ever so present. Good news is, and word on the street, is that hardly anyone ever remembers their freshman convo speaker, so that provides me some relief. In actuality, it's no accident that I'm standing here today as the opening convocation speaker. And soon you'll realize it's even more fitting that the homecoming theme this year is Back to the Burg, All Roads Lead to Home. I'd like to share with you a glimpse of my Wartburg experiences through a time lapse of my journey back to the Burg in hopes to give you confidence that each of you are right where you're supposed to be, here at Wartburg. Additionally, I hope to provide insight and personal wisdom for you to consider as you embark on your 4-year journey to help set you up for future success. Upon graduating summa cum laude in fitness management from Wartburg College, I left to get my master's degree from the University of Northern Iowa. While there, taking classes full-time, serving in graduate assistantship roles, and working on completing my thesis, I came back to Wartburg as part of the assistant coaching staff for both basketball and softball. After completing my master's degree, I was determined to move to a big city. I was tired of small-town life and went to Orlando, Florida. In less than a year, I decided to give my hand at coaching, so I hesitantly applied to 3 various head coaching positions, not truly believing I'd earn an opportunity as head women's basketball coach, associate professor, and academic advisor. Here I was, living in Chicago while holding up a leadership position of my dreams, alone, overwhelmed, and overworked. Shortly after my first year there, I received a call with a Waverly area code. It was none other than the Bob Amsbury, head women's basketball coach from Wartburg College, a man who I admired as a coach and person devoted to his family, offering me an assistant coaching position under his leadership. I began to weigh the pros and cons, or so I thought. In reality, what I was choosing and was weighing was ego versus heart. In the end, I chose ego, or status, still too arrogant to understand success. I had a short-term mentality and cared too much of what others thought about my title rather than trusting my instincts and removing myself from an uneven work-life balance and culture. Through working other head and assistant coaching positions and pursuing my massage therapy license in the big city, I often found myself involved in Wartburg events. I attended the Wartburg Alumni Chicago Games. One year, I met with former and current Wartburg students and staff at a restaurant despite not knowing a single person. I hosted several Wartburg students into my home through Orange Connection, and even hosted a student athlete shadowing me. Despite a lot of amazing experiences of attending several professional sports games with great seats at the Chicago teams, attending multiple concerts and festivals, sharing several laughs and fun memories with some of my now best friends in life, I also experienced just as much hardships and obstacles. Life in the Windy City was not always glamorous for me, and I'm not just talking about the 2 times my car got towed and I had no idea where to find it. I experienced personal struggles and unpleasant work environments that would likely knock many off their feet. Although my ego or status often held me back from removing myself from those situations, which often did not end in my favor, those same experiences became some of my greatest blessings and life lessons. Thankfully, every struggle has a victory, and I'm grateful to be able to stand here before you to share mine. Through the pain and tears, I grew closer to God, and my relationship with Him strengthened more than I ever knew imaginable. An unshakable comfort that withstood any challenge, obstacle, or negativity thrown my way. This strength allowed me to finally make the decision to follow my heart rather than my ego. So I did something very rare. I held a press conference with my family, similar to that of LeBron, and decided it was time to move my talents to Iowa. The first place I job searched was, you got it, Wartburg. I knew, although only a short time there, my heart was always connected to the people that make Wartburg special, and that Waverly would provide a safe community and education for my son. So I searched on their human resource site for employment, and you can bet that on that very same day, my current position as Assistant Director of Group Fitness and Personal Training was posted, the very same day. Another sign of comfort and protection from up above. Already, since I started last May, I'm beginning to finally understand the phrase when someone says the value of your work is more work, as I currently hold 2 additional positions from when I started, allowing me to further serve both students and members of the community. I understand that not everyone will journey back to Wartburg like I did. My point, though, is simply that you chose the right college. Wartburg is family. You will bleed orange, and I'm not just talking about the orange t-shirt y'all wearing. You see, for me, I will be forever grateful to have mentors and role models in my life when I attended Wartburg in just 2 short years. Like Derek Solheim, current Director of Career Services, who not only gave me some great pointers for the speech, but whose many red inks and edits to my resume led me to many jobs, including my first collegiate head coaching position at the age of 25, as well as this one today. I still have that century font and similar format from his advising. Monica Severson, former head women's basketball coach and assistant athletic director, who I only had for 1 short season, but regularly meet up with her for coffee and gain such great wisdom, and who also sold me some really great life insurance. And Bob Amsbury, who I've already mentioned, but someone who has remained a mentor to me throughout my coaching career and still to this day. the very person that inspired me to begin graduate school right after graduating from Wartburg so that I could pursue my dream of becoming a college basketball coach. This was all while being stuck next to him on a 13-hour plane ride to Germany for his first day on the job because our last names were A and B, while my teammates were hanging out in the back of the plane. Valuable time that I will forever cherish. He taught me to do the work early and who I sold out for his program philosophy of all 5. To Dr. Ann Henninger, retired anatomy physiology professor and women's basketball faculty member, who believed in my ability to lead as a supplemental instructor for human A&P. Because of her, I can spell correctly terms like sternocleidomastoid, since she docked points for incorrect spelling. That confidence in me was a big influence in me pursuing my passion and calling for massage therapy later on in life. To Crystal Madlock, Director of Multicultural Affairs and Student Services, a strong, God-fearing, and serving Black female who played and still plays an influential role to myself and so many others, who helped nominate me for achieving the first Duncan Walker Scholarship Award for highest GPA of a minority student, and also encouraged me to get involved in Black Student Union, in which I served on as a member of the executive board. And Pastor Trokti, PT, and his wife Lois, who built genuine relationships with me and who also showed us about every church possible during our trip to Germany. But more than that, he provided so many powerful sermons during chapel services throughout the school year that helped cultivate my faith journey. There are so many more to name from my past experiences, let alone current mentors and colleagues since I've moved back. I trust that each of you will have your list as well that will play a vital role in your adventures well beyond your Wartburg days. Take advantage of the amazing faculty, staff, and resources. They are genuinely here to see each of you grow and flourish. If you would allow, I'd like to wrap up with a few nuggets that I've learned and oftentimes still learning along the way that I encourage each of you to take into serious consideration during your time at Wartburg. 1, it's okay to be vulnerable. Expressing your vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The important thing is to not use it as a crutch, but instead use it as motivation, as fuel to overcome any challenge thrown your way. 2, give yourself grace. This is often a hard one for me as I'm type A perfectionist, but no, you don't have to know your major right now or have life all figured out. Strive for progress, not perfection. 3, success leaves clues. Become predictable, in a good way. Understand that your past truths, hurts, faults, level on the playing field, or status amongst your peers prior to coming here do not define you. Success does not care about your background or past. It cares about what you decide to do today. You can truly become whoever you set your mind to, but you must earn it, and you must understand that it will not be easy. 4, be a collector of friends. One thing I wish I did more of was get to know more people outside of my student-athlete circle. But even more than that, genuinely show interest in learning about other people's cultures and experiences. Through your differences, you'll realize you each have far more similarities than any false stereotype or prejudice bias you originally came in with. You'll never know whose life you'll impact when you put your others' needs above your own, whose day you'll make from a simple smile or compliment, and what unlikely roommate, classmate, or complete stranger will become your best friend. Number 5, choose hard. Choose hard now so you can live easy later. Don't take shortcuts. Well, unless there's a polar vortex, then by all means take the long route to get to the Science Center for class. Choose to get involved on campus, utilize your resources, actually read your textbooks. Choose to say no to hanging out and social media until you have completed your assignments. Choose to have an open mind and heart to ideas and people different than you. It may be the unpopular thing to do, but it will pay off. Think long term, so you can walk across stage at graduation with confidence, knowing you are well prepared, deeply connected, and set up for success. Lastly, number 6, value your time. I already know you're thinking, come on, we're young, YOLO, but understand now that your most greatest and valuable asset is time. Use it wisely. You'll quickly learn that once you have children, and you'll see that time does really fly by as you watch them grow. That traveling will be one of life's greatest luxuries in comparison to the money spent on material items that only help lift up your status. That during your time at Wartburg, some of your greatest memories won't even be over that high point scoring game or that lead role you got in the play, but instead will be from the laughs shared on the bus rides home after beating Luther or during the backstage dress rehearsals. So please, don't waste your time worrying on small, trivial things that won't matter 5 days from now, or associate around people that are only holding back your growth. To each of you freshmen, my hope is that Wartburg will stretch you, so that by the end of your 4 years here, you will be more confident in yourself, having an increased awareness and compassion for social injustices, seek relationships outside of your comfort zone, gain worldly knowledge, grow in faith, and become servant leaders in the community. I wish you each many blessings as you embark on your very own Wartburg journey. I look forward to meeting each of you and getting to know you more personally. Know that you are not alone here. This is home. We are family. Together we are Wartburg. Go Knights.